Capital One Orange Bowl at Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida, 8 p.m. on December 29th between number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide and number 4 Oklahoma Sooners.
If you thought the story for Clemson was a copy and paste story of 2017 to 2018, Alabama going to be the same exact thing. Began the season with nothing short of playoff expectations. New starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa taking over as the full-time starter after leading Alabama to a national championship in the second half against Georgia last year. As a sophomore, kid's been nothing short of spectacular. 37 scores, only 4 interceptions on the season, 3,353 yards through the air as a passer, 5 more rushing touchdowns as well. Amazing part, he only played in 2 quarters for most of the games that Alabama played this year. They were up so big at halftime. He did like 1 drive in the third quarter, and then it was off to the backups and Jalen Hurts. Alabama as a team never let a team finish closer than 22 points the entire season. The 2 biggest quote-unquote tests were back-to-back games with number 3 LSU and number 16 Mississippi State, and the Crimson Tide shut out both teams. 29-0 against number 3 LSU, 24-0 against number 16 Mississippi State. No test until the SEC championship game against number 4 Georgia. Tua ends up getting knocked out of that game, and then senior signal caller Jalen Hurts comes back in to lead the team to the college football playoffs and the Orange Bowl. The same exact thing that happened in the college football playoff national championship game last year against Georgia happened to Georgia again in the SEC championship game, except flip the quarterbacks. One quarterback gets pulled, another quarterback goes in to come from behind victory against Georgia. Now, the matchup of Oklahoma prevents a couple of storylines I'm sure ESPN and all the talking heads are going to be talking about all week and all pregame and all during the game. The Heisman winning quarterback of Oklahoma, Kyler Murray, versus the Heisman runner-up in Tua. It also has the nation's worst passing defense, Oklahoma, versus Tua Tagovailoa, who is a potent passer. If he's able to play in this one, I think he's going to be able to play in this one. A top offense in Oklahoma against a top defense in Alabama. So many storylines to go by. You could talk over and over and around and whatever. Who has the advantage? Who doesn't have the advantage? That's why we play the game. You can't really write it out because you got to be able to know these 2 teams play completely different styles of football. Should be interesting to see. I think what it comes down to, though, is that Alabama has the history, has the experience, been in all 5 college football playoffs. They have Nick Saban at the head coaching position, and he doesn't lose these types of games.
Disagree.
Okay.
Disagree.
All right. What you got for Oklahoma?
Who's got the Heisman winner? Huh? Who's got the Heisman winner? 2 years in a row, Oklahoma has the Heisman winner. They're both quarterbacks, and Kyler Murray is the Heisman winner of the season. So, I mean, that's it. That's all you got to know. Well, Oklahoma wins.
Do me a favor and look up the history of how Heisman winners have done in their bowl games.
Nah, that's okay. Murray was actually sick earlier this week. Some people were like, oh, I wonder if he's going to play on Saturday. Like, really, he's going to miss what could be the final game of his career? Right. Like, there's no way that's going to happen.
Before he goes and makes a bunch of money in professional baseball.
Right, exactly. Now, the same can't be said for the rest of the Oklahoma team, who has been banged up all year. As of today, December 26th, 5 players are questionable and 8 players are out for the Sooners. Now, that's some that have been accumulated over the season, but things have not gone great in terms of staying healthy. One of the questionable players is Marquise Brown, who led the team in receptions with 75, yards with 1,318, and he also tacked on 10 touchdowns with those receptions. He was in full pads as of Wednesday, so we'll see if the lower leg injury he suffered in their last game slows him down at all. If Brown is out, Murray still has CeeDee Lamb to throw to. He has also hauled in 10 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards. So this offense puts up big numbers. You talked about that already, and led the FBS in most categories, including total yards, yards per game, and points. So other categories are in the top 11, so I'll be surprised if Alabama can hold them to fewer than 35. With an offense this good, Oklahoma was like, oh, we actually need a field of defense? And that is being generous, saying that they put a defense on the field.
They didn't.
They barely need to, and they barely do, giving up the second most passing yards per game and 53rd in rushing yards. It's just a mess back there. Now, the linebacking duo of Kenneth Murray and Curtis Bolton are a fun pair to watch. They have 140 and 130 total tackles, respectively, 4 sacks apiece, and each with 2 passes deflected. If the Bama offensive line cannot get to the second level on rush attempts, they're going to have a bad time. Now, if the Sooner offense can keep putting up big numbers, they're probably the best equipped to beat Alabama. I'm going with the upset in this one because of the Hurts and Tua issues and who's going to end up playing. I think this is finally going to bite Nick Saban and yes, I know that Tua was out with an injury, but some people are saying, well, how bad of an injury was it actually? Maybe he just thought that Tua wasn't playing quite as well.
So there's Oklahoma does not have the same defense that Georgia has, and so this will be much like Tua going up against the Citadel. He'll just do whatever he wants to do.
I don't think it'll be that easy, but I mean, if that's how you want to see it, that's fine. I have the Sooners winning 42-38.
I have Oklahoma losing to Alabama by a lot. I think Alabama runs away with this one just because Alabama's offense is good and their defense is great. Oklahoma's offense is great and their defense is literally the worst passing defense in the country. So I think that's the difference, is the defensive side of the ball. And what we say about the Big 12 every season is that they don't play defense, and that's defense wins championships, John.